This past weekend at the Supercross finale in Salt Lake City, the 250 class had a bit of a rerun from last year. What do I mean by that? Well, just as there was last year, we had a bit of drama between the Star Yamaha teammates Jordon Smith, the veteran, and Haiden Deegan, the young buck. Now, this time, Deegan decided to take verbal shots at Smith, so we'll get into that. Before we get into that, this video is sponsored by Blood Lubricants. Blood is a premium motocross oil and lubricant company. They've got products like Blood Racing Pro Series Chain Lube. They also have their newest addition, Clutch RX Engine Oil. They even have Bloodline, Blood Bath, Wash and Wax. They got a bunch of products on there, all premium stuff. Why choose Blood, you may ask? Well, first of all, it is Chris Kiefer tested and approved. If that's not enough to convince you, for a limited time, you can use my code TMN25 on bloodlubricants.com to get all of their products. Everything I just showed you, their engine oil, their chain lube. They got a bunch of stuff on there. Use my code TMN25 to get 25% off for a limited time. All right, before we move on, you can head to my website, themxnetwork.com. Links in the description. There you will find all of my magazines, the latest issue, and past issues available on there. Even some of them are on discount. I don't know what the discount is right now. I think half off. But you can find that. And I have a new addition to my magazine, part of my website and my business. We now have digital magazines. So if you don't want to spend the money to get a physical copy and pay for shipping and all that garbage, then now you can just get it immediately for only $3.99. A digital copy, you will get that immediately instead of having to wait for shipping and all that stuff. So if you want to support me, but you don't want to spend all the money on all that, I have a cheaper option for you now. My digital magazine is also available on themxnetwork.com. Just click the mag and then click digital copy and you can get it there. So in Salt Lake City, a thrilling event unfolded as veteran rider Jordon Smith had an intense encounter with his teammate Haiden Deegan from Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha. Smith, a seasoned competitor, fiercely challenged Deegan for the lead in the main event's closing moments on Saturday night. They were battling for a while and he decided to go for it, shoot the gap, and try to pass him. Didn't work out. Despite the contact, Smith displayed his resilience by remounting and securing third place in Western Regional points. Following a struggle to overtake earlier, Smith found himself entangled in a mishap by colliding with the rear wheel of 18-year-old Haiden Deegan after the whoops. Despite the setback, Smith valiantly fought back, surpassing Jo Shimoda from Team Honda HRC to secure that last podium spot and clinch third in the series, like I mentioned. Notably this year, Smith had one victory, and that was in San Francisco, so he's a pretty good rider. Here is said incident between the two, Haiden Deegan and Jordon Smith. Here's the crash. All right, so after Deegan got hit, you can see him take his hands off the handlebars and like throw them up, kind of like saying, dude, really? So yeah, Deegan wasn't too thrilled about it with that pass attempt. Now, let's take a look at what both riders had to say regarding this incident. We're going to start with Jordon Smith. He was the first one to comment as well. So here's what he had to say in a post-race interview. Smith said, quote, I made a run there through the whoops that lap. He kind of got a little sketchy, and I had a good run up the inside. I went for a pass and maybe didn't go hard enough. I wasn't trying to take him out or anything, like he was leading, and that's what he needed to do to try and win the championship. You know, we're on the same team. I'm not going to try and take him out. Our bikes got stuck together. Looking back on it, maybe I should have just went in a little harder. Maybe I should have backed off. I don't know. I need to go back and watch it and see. We only had a few laps to go, so I was kind of running out of time a little bit. I was just really bummed how it turned out there. As he mentioned, the bikes got stuck together. James Stewart also mentioned that in the live broadcast, so he's not making that up. You can see in the video when he collides with him, his bike gets pulled out from beneath him, so that's clear as day. Now, I think it's fair to say that was a pretty responsible reaction to the situation from Smith. Very professional. He admitted that it was his fault. Maybe he should have waited. There were no ill intentions or teammates, so I think that was a good response to the situation. Now let's look at what Haiden Deegan had to say regarding this. Deegan said in a post-race interview, quote, I obviously was going to block the line, and he ran into my rear wheel and fell. He did the same thing he did last year at Detroit, ran into my rear wheel and fell. I'm like, dude, why do you do that again? Whatever. I mean, I guess that's why he's been in this class for 10 years maybe. Well, that's about as Deegs of a response as you can get. What else were you expecting? Now, I want to be clear. I think Smith definitely screwed up. He probably should have waited until the gap was smaller before trying to make a pass on him. Had he taken Deegan out, I'm sure Deegan and the team would have been a little angry considering he had a long shot chance of winning this title. But I don't think insulting your teammate like this is good either. Yes, he could have taken you out and could have potentially ruined your day, but he didn't, and it was an accident. You know that. Calm down. He's your teammate. Why do you gotta insult him like that? I think that's kind of rude. But whatever. Deegan is known for this stuff. He's very out there with his thoughts. He wants to make sure you know how he feels, and he definitely did. What are your guys' thoughts on all of this? What do you think about Smith's pass attempt? How about Deegan's response to it all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.